Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another week of Ask Ping. We've got some questions, so let's get at it. First one, best moto podcast by far, more genuine than most. I like that. By the way, the Steve Caballero episode was one of the best. More people should check it out. So you know how they say there are no stupid questions. Well, this is definitely a stupid question, but it's one I've always wondered. In all of your years of racing and being around so many talented riders, the best of the best, have you ever met anyone that couldn't hold a wheelie? You don't have to name names, but I can't for the life of me keep one balanced, and I actually practice them. Where no one else can see, of course, and I know it's dumb and I know it doesn't matter, it just pisses me off a little. It would make me feel better to know if there were others out there that made it somewhere in this sport while still suffering with this affliction. Give me hope that I can still be a better rider racer. Anyways, maybe if I pop a couple Viagra, that could help keep it up. All jokes aside, thanks for all you do. There was no name to this one, but I appreciate the letter. And listen, I'm going to make you feel better about yourself. This is not abnormal. I can do a fast wheelie for a ways, but I can't do like the slow wheelie and ride the brake. I never messed around with it enough to get good at it. And I know I'm not the only one. Again, I'm not going to name names, but friends of mine in the industry, racers that I know that are great racers, there are some of them that are like, oh yeah, I can't do that. So I don't think Viagra is going to help with this affliction. I think that's a different thing there, buddy, but you're not alone with this. But I will say, I think there's value to being able to do it, to learning it. If you listen to the David Villeman episode that we just shot in this first part, he talks about Jean-Michel Bayle and how he spent so much time on the motorcycle, and he'd ride laps the normal way on the track, then ride backwards, then do sections and do jumps, then just do wheelies and just play around on the bike. He got so comfortable on it that it was just like an extension of him. And that's a pretty common theme that I've seen throughout a lot of really successful racers. So anyway, just something to think of. It doesn't make you a good racer or a better racer, but being more connected and comfortable on your bike will. So take that for what it's worth, but listen, do not feel bad about yourself. I can't wheelie like that either. I look at those guys that have riding all those stolen bikes in Baltimore, and I just think, man, I'm doing something wrong. You know, these guys got me whooped. Thanks for the letter, appreciate it, and good luck. I hope you can figure it out. Next one says, Ping, my name is Kyler Horseman, and I'm a fan/subscriber to your work on the Whiskey Throttle Show. I have a question for you about Honda clutches. So I've recently ordered my first brand new bike, only ever owned used ones, a 23 CRF 250R, and I'm trying to ensure that the bike stays reliable. I noticed online people saying to remove the judder spring on these bikes and replace it with a regular clutch fiber to ensure that the smaller fiber on the judder spring doesn't break and cause the motor to grenade. What is your advice on that? Should I trust the keyboard warriors or trust the Honda engineers that designed the bike? I'm a local level rider in the B class, so I'm not crazy hard on my bikes, but I do ring the bike occasionally every lap. I truly appreciate your advice and look forward to your feedback. Thanks, Kyler. So this is, I actually wasn't 100% sure about this. So I did speak to somebody at Honda for you. And he said this was really more of an issue on the 2017 450. There's not enough torque in the 250s for him to really break. Maybe there's cases where it has happened, but he's not heard of it. And he said they did address it for the more current bikes, but you can take and replace that judder spring with another fiber. He said that does kind of remove that out of the equation completely. But it's super rare on a 250 for that to happen. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. And I will say this, because the problem isn't that it breaks and that blows your bike up. The problem is if the clutch comes apart, those fibers come apart and plug the holes where the oil flows through, then you blow it up that way because you're not getting any lubrication. So I will say this, if you're ever riding, whether it's this bike or any other, and you feel the clutch change, the feel of it, it's slipping a little bit, you get a bunch of play all of a sudden, or there's noise in there, stop. You know, what happens is guys will hear that and just go, oh, well, whatever, and keep riding. I know that sounds crazy, but it happens. And they keep riding and they end up blowing the bike up because they didn't pull over and stop. So I guess my advice to you after talking to the Honda guys, you can do it if it makes you feel better, I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. But if you want to be sure to fix the problem, you can also just sell that bike and buy a Yamaha, and then you don't have any troubles with that. Oh, zing! Just kidding. But seriously. So thank you, Kyler. I hope that helps. And anybody else that has one of those bikes, there's the info straight out of the guys from Honda, out of their mouths. So, hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you next week back here for more Ask Ping.